Well, hello and welcome to the Informed Traveler Podcast, a weekly travel podcast where our goal is to help you become a more informed traveler. I'm your host, Randy Sharman. On this week's podcast, we'll check in with travel expert Onanta Forbes, who wrapped up her river cruise in Portugal with Avalon Waterways this week and is now in the Azores. So we'll get an update from her in a few seconds. Plus, we're going to chat with the folks from Chihuahua, Mexico, home to an area known as Copper Canyon, a network of 6 canyons that provides endless opportunities for hiking, biking, and trekking. So I'm excited to learn more about that. And Ken Stewart from Crowfoot Travel Solutions will be along to give us a few destination ideas and travel deals with our weekly roundup. But first, let's kick things off chatting with travel expert Onanta Forbes, who joins us each week to discuss some of the travel news and travel trends. You can follow her adventures on Instagram, Facebook, and X at Onanta Forbes. OnantaForbes.com is her website. Where are you right now?
I'm in the Azores. I'm in Punta Delgado and Buenos Aires.
Nice. I've been looking at your photos on Instagram and Facebook and following you there at Onanta Forbes. Some amazing pictures and some amazing sights. So let's just talk about some of the highlights from your past week as you finished up your river cruise, I think.
That is right. So we were very fortunate to be on the Avalon Allegra, and it's a beautiful ship. It's slightly different. I think we mentioned it last week from its sister ships, carrying only 102 guests instead of its usual 166 guests. And that's due to the size restrictions on the Douro River. Now, it's also noted or noteworthy for having Avalon's first onboard pool, which resides on the top level of the sky deck. And it really is appreciated because there were some really nice sunny days and warm temperatures to enjoy being outside. It's also very interesting to be up there when you're going through a lock. Because the locks, as I had mentioned, are marvels. Like, they're so efficient. They're so, well, it's just amazing that you can go from one level of the river to another so easily. Obviously easy for me because I'm not navigating the boat through them, but the crew does an amazing job. And also, being on deck, sometimes they have al fresco sky grill. So it's a barbecue lunch that usually takes place once or twice a week, depending on the weather, because it can't be too windy. But we enjoyed it. Definitely. And it was so you could kind of watch the river go by. Talking about meals, most meals are served in the dining room. Breakfast and lunch are buffet style with quite a few a la carte options available to order. So like for breakfast, you can have eggs Benedict or waffles and burgers in the afternoon. And then dinners are a 4-course meal. Lots of healthy options if you choose to go that route, called Avalon Fresh. But if you want a quicker or a lighter bite, you can go upstairs to the bistro, the Panorama Bistro. And that's where you can dine on self-serve small plates in the Panorama Lounge at dinner time. And sometimes that's just nice because you don't want to dress up for dinner all the time. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to sit through sometimes, they want to serve you properly and well, at dinner time, right? But sometimes you just don't want to do that. You just want to hang, like pretend you're...
Well, especially if you've had a busy day, right? If you've been in the ports or whatever and you're running around and the heat will wear you down. And so, sometimes you just want to eat and then just relax, right?
That's right. Yeah. So it was good to have that option. And, again, one of the nice things is that the menus are very Portuguese driven, and that's thanks to the ship's Portuguese chef. Now we have to just give a shout out to the chef because one day he hosted a little culinary demonstration where he showed us how to make an almond cake, which was and then we got to taste it. So that's always good when you get to taste food. And so he did a really nice job. And then you got a menu or a recipe to take home. So it was really nice. So we sailed an 8-day tour, and it was called Vida Portugal Vineyards and Villages Along the Douro. And it's round trip from Porto. And you have different excursions available to every day. And sometimes, they're at no cost, and sometimes they're an additional cost. So you could actually be very busy and go in the morning on an excursion and go in the afternoon. And they have a selection of different excursions, whether it's classic, active, or discovery excursions. And they represent a different range of activity options. So you can do like a guided day trip to Braga, or you can hike through the wine country. You can go on a coastal bike ride accompanied by a biologist, or, a visit to a Roman monastery. So there's lots of opportunity to taste wine and other and port along the Douro Valley, as well as experience different cultural things that happen on board. One of the fun things I did was I got to paint my own tile. So this local gallery kind of came in, and the instructor told us, how to engrave from a pattern. And then you just kind of outlined and filled in with different colors. It was really fun.
It
And
sounds like fun.
it was fun. And then as far as entertainment, we got to see flamenco dancing. There was a fado performance as well. So really, like, you can enjoy yourself. Like, it's not like a disco. So don't expect high energy dancing or anything like that. It's very relaxing, very focused on enjoying the destination. It was really fun. Like, it's really good. And cruising along the Douro River in Portugal is different than any other cruising in the European rivers. Like, the Douro has a series of locks that are narrower than the Rhine or the Danube. So the ships are smaller in scale and typically shorter and carry fewer passengers. So, as I say, really interesting to go through the locks. And if you're just even from a person that is not in, like an engineer, but just interesting to enjoy and to do it. The ship also offers complimentary Wi-Fi access, and it's called Starlink, and it's really good. Like, it was quick, it was efficient, there wasn't a cost to it. So I think that's really important, because for me, I think Wi-Fi should be included in hotels, throughout your attractions. Even on the tour buses, there was Wi-Fi. I thought that was good, because people
want to be connected now, no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you have the Wi-Fi, especially when you're traveling and you don't want to be using data, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because data does add up, and we know Canada has some pretty high charges related to us. So, I think that's important, and it's nice to have it, very much so. So as far as, just the layout of the ship, we talked about the sky deck, and then this is where your adventure host will lead classes so that you can start your day with yoga or Pilates or stretching exercises. And I just want to say I didn't do any of those, but they were there if you wanted it, right? And then midship on the Royal Deck is your embarkation point, and it's home to guest services, the Adventure Center, and for excursions and port information. And this is where our cruise director, Ingrid Brantz, was, and she was just a font of information, very kind, very patient, helps you so much along your cruise. So take advantage and listen to your cruise director, because they'll make your cruise so much better. Located on this deck in the aft is the Club Lounge, it offers a variety of coffees and teas, water, like plain, fizzy or flavored, and hot chocolate. And they also have like a modest library with some decks of cards and puzzles. So there's entertainment if you wish it. Like, if you're, you need that little bit more stimulation. And then the Panorama Lounge is forward on the Royal Deck, and it accommodates passengers on couches and chairs and table setups. And there's another coffee bar there. So it was very you didn't have to. There wasn't a lot of navigating the ships. Like, of course, on ocean cruises, the ships are quite big and you could get lost. You couldn't get lost on this ship at all. One of the nice things about the Panorama Lounge is it has an outdoor observation deck, and it was like a prime spot for watching as the ship transits the locks. And it's a nice gathering place, and a lot of people would enjoy the opportunity to go there for happy hour and so on. And then there's the Sapphire Deck, which is where the dining room and it's beautiful that you can see great vistas outside, and um and and there's also cabins on that deck. And then the lower deck is the Indigo Deck, and has quite a few categories of deluxe staterooms. It has a very small fitness center, which I never saw being used, and it has basic equipment like a treadmill, a bike, yoga mats, and blocks and resistance bands, but it's there if you want it. But you're in Europe, I'd go for a walk if you
Well,
can.
yeah, exactly. There's so many places to explore. You don't really need to go on a treadmill. You can go for a walk and see all the beautiful scenery, or you could even use a bike, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely. So just talking a little bit about the places where we visited. So we started in Porto, and it's a coastal city in the northwest of Portugal, and it's known for its historical center, Ribina. I'm not going to say that right, Ribeira. And that's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it features a lot of narrow cobble streets, and it's got lots of merchants, like houses and cafes. It's a good place to enjoy your port wine, and that's where we stayed the first 2 nights when we arrived, and it was nice. It's a good walking city, really good. Another of our destinations on excursions is Braga, and it's known for its religious heritage, and it's nicknamed the Rome of Portugal due to the numerous churches. It has one of the oldest cathedrals in the country, built in the 12th century. So that's an opportunity to explore like the different Baroque architecture that's there. And then we also went to Rega, which is a town, again, in northern Portugal on the banks of the Douro River. And it's an important center for port wine production in the country, and has a very rich wine making heritage. And so one of the excursions there, you could visit a historical wine farm. The tour is conducted by a countess who owns the estates, and it dates back to the 16th century, has a beautiful manor house, gardens along along with wine and olive oil production facilities.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a nice place to visit. The countess is quite charming. A lot of the guests were quite taken by her. So it's kind of nice to, you know, um, kind of relate to somebody or enjoy somebody that's passionate about their history. So you find these gems of people along the way, especially in the tour guides. They really
Mm-hmm.
are passionate about their country, about what they believe in, whether it's sustainability or just the history of the place. So I think part of the charm of an excursion could be, or sometimes could not, but the guides, they really are very quite lovely. There's a full day where you could go to Salamanca, which is a historical city located in the western part of Spain in the Castile and Leon region. And a lot of people went there, and it was really full of cathedrals built in the Romanesque architecture and Renaissance style. So that was a full day. That it is a bit of a journey by bus, but there's lots of enjoyment in being there, and you're visiting a different country as well. I have to tell you, one of our stops, they were getting ready for a festival that night, and they were selling wine. And so you could have a healthy glass of red wine or white wine. So our glass of wine costs 60 euro cents. So 2 glasses of wine was less than $2 Canadian, and it was good wine.
Nice. That's what
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah. So little things along the way that you can just enjoy. And then the cruise ends up in Porto, and Porto, they take you on a city tour, which is really good. You overnight there as well, so you can go out and you can explore the town if you wish. In the afternoon, they have like a shuttle bus running to and from the ship to downtown Porto. Because the ship docks in Porto overnight, it's easy to get an early morning flight home.
Hmm.
And so you don't have to spend a night in Porto before you can catch your flight. You can
Yeah,
go.
because you're already there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
So, and that's nice too, because sometimes people just want to get going.
Well, yeah, yeah, you're right. Like once you're all packed up to get off the ship, no matter what, if it's a river cruise, ocean cruise, you're in that I want to go home mode.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's nice to be able to do that.
Yeah. So
Well,
that was my river cruise.
that all sounds absolutely amazing. It sounds like you packed in a lot over the past week, but it all sounds very relaxing too. I think that's a word that popped in my head when you were describing, floating along the river, and you had a pool on top, and
Yeah.
a barbecue, weather permitting, and that kind of thing. So, lots of things to see and do, but then also very relaxing as well. And people can follow you on your Instagram and Facebook pages, like I've been doing. At
Yay.
Onanta Forbes, lots of photos there. It looks really, really amazing. So now you're in the Azores, and I think we'll when we hook up with you next week, we'll talk about the Azores and get the whole lowdown and your experience then.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful trip so far, and a good way to immerse yourself into Portugal, which is, a top trending destination. So look forward to sharing that with you on next week.
Sounds amazing. Again, Onanta Forbes is a travel expert. You can follow her adventures in Portugal on her Facebook and Instagram pages and on X at Onanta Forbes. And her website is onantaforbes.com. Sounds amazing, Onanta. Can't wait to hear more next week.
Take care. Have a good day.
Well, let's chat with the folks from Chihuahua, Mexico now to learn more about an area known as Copper Canyon, a network of canyons that provides endless opportunities for hiking, biking, and trekking, and also boasts one of the best rail journeys in the world. So let's find out more. And joining me now to do that is Monica Obregon. She's a promotions coordinator for Chihuahua Tourism. Visit chihuahua.mx is the website. Hola, Monica. ¿Cómo está?
Hola, Randy. Muy bien. Thank you.
I would venture to guess that a lot of people aren't really familiar where the state of Chihuahua is. So give us a geography lesson to start.
Okay. We are located in the north of Mexico. We are bordering with Texas and with New Mexico. Chihuahua is the largest state in Mexico. So that's why we share two borders with the United States.
Nice. So I guess if people are looking for a beach vacation, Chihuahua's not on the list. But it does have, I've watched some videos and I've looked on your website, visit chihuahua.mx. It is absolutely gorgeous. Describe the area and what it's famous for.
Okay. So I'm going to start to saying that Chihuahua has desert, but also has mountains. So we have both the weathers, both views. In the south of the state, we have the Copper Canyon that you can visit by the train. Also, you can visit by car, but the train is the most famous way to do the tour to the Copper Canyon.
We'll talk about the train in a second. I think if people want to get a visual, the mountains are very similar to the Grand Canyon in the United States. So if people want to have a visual, that's kind of what they look like. And if they want a better visual, just go to your website and visit chihuahua.mx and they'll get a very good image. But it's an area that's great for hiking, great for outdoors, and just something off the beaten path, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So it's not similar to the Great Canyon. The Great Canyon, well, starting from the Chihuahua Copper Canyon is 4 times larger and deeper than the Copper Canyon. But its flora and fauna is very different. So you can't compare them.
Let's talk about the city of Chihuahua. I would assume that would be the place you would start, and then we'll chat a little bit about the train. But talk a little bit about the city of Chihuahua and some of the accommodations, and if people are planning a trip there, that I'm assuming that's a good place to start, right?
Okay, perfect. So to get to Chihuahua City, Chihuahua is the name of the state, but also is the capital of the state, Chihuahua City and Chihuahua State. So to get to Chihuahua City, you can do it connecting with Mexico City, from Canada to Mexico City, or from Dallas To Canada, Dallas, Chihuahua, we have direct flight, or from Denver. So those are our 3 direct flights with all the international airlines like United, American Airlines, and of course Aeromexico.
So it is easy to get there. And once you're there, then you want to explore. So what's the easiest way to explore? Is it, you kind of want to have a tour and then I guess the best way is to take that train. So let's talk a little bit about the tours and then let's talk about the train because it's an amazing, amazing trip.
Okay. So once you get to Chihuahua, you are going to find history, culture, and adventure. So in Chihuahua City, it's a modern city with a lot of historic sites too. So we have both the contrast of the modern city and Baroque style buildings. So Chihuahua is part of the Mexico's history. So we have a lot of monuments, a lot of museums, a lot of buildings that represents all the history of Mexico. But also we have the newest part that is a very modern city with excellent gastronomy, nightlife. No, not a big city, but it's not a town. It's a modern city.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the accommodations. I think a lot of people are used to having all-inclusive resorts. Do you have that? Do you have just regular hotels with European plans?
Yeah. Big resorts, we don't because we are not a sun and beach destination, but we have luxury hotels with hotel chains like Marriott, like Hilton, local names, local hotels that are hotel boutiques, and all kind of accommodation. I mean, depends of the budget of the traveler.
Okay, we've been teasing it a lot here. Let's talk about that rail tour. Where does it go? What do I see? How easy is it to get a ticket? Tell me the ins and outs of it, because apparently it's rated as one of the top 5 rail tours in the world. So tell me about that.
Okay, so to get the best way is to hire a tour operator, and they can take you all over the city and then take you to Krill. I'm going to start how you start your trip. Krill is the entrance to the Copper Canyon. So the main town in La Sierra. So once you get to Krill, you can take the train.
So you start in Cree, yeah? And so how long is the tour? If I did it nonstop on the train, how far would it take me to where it ends?
Okay, if you take that train from Krill from the mountains to the ocean, it's a 9-hour trip, point to point. But the best way to do it is stop in each. We have 5 stations that you can get down, spend a night, probably spend a day in that place, and then the other day take the train again to the other town. So you can have the opportunity to know very different towns in the mountains.
Well, I was going to say too that you don't want to go 9 hours nonstop. You want to stop along the way and enjoy some of the scenery and some of the sights.
So if you get down in Divisadero, which is one of the most spectacular places in La Sierra, you can stay there, but the train doesn't pass again the next day. It's going to pass probably if you get there on Monday, next Wednesday, you are taking the train to the next point.
Okay, I get it now. So yeah, you would want to stop. So if I stopped on a Monday, I catch the train on a Wednesday, go to the next stop, and then it's probably maybe Friday that I catch it.
Yeah.
So it makes it for a really nice tour. It's all broken up, and I get to enjoy the sights and the areas of Chihuahua, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what's included on the train? Is are meals included? Can I or is it just getting me from point A to point B and then I enjoy the stop?
You can buy the tickets depending what you want to do. You can buy the whole trip or from point to point. Depending that you are going to have 1 meal or 2 meals. It is a luxury train. You can use the luxury part that has a bar, has a very good restaurant, has a terrace. The cars are very, very comfortable.
You mentioned at the beginning, the best way is kind of just to take a tour, and that way someone is holding your hand the whole way. I don't have to bother with my luggage. I don't have to do anything like that because I'm a lazy traveler, and that's the way I like to go. So that would be the best way, right? And then you really, it's taken care of. The tickets are taken care of, your accommodations are taken care of, and I'm just, following along.
That's right. Yeah, depending how fancy you want to do your trip, depends. I mean, if you want to pay someone to take you all the way with your with your luggage and everything, if you want to come with your backpack and on the back, you can do it. But the best way is to have a tour operator that helps you to do all the tour.
Yeah. When's the best time to visit? Is there a rainy season? Is it cooler? Is it warmer?
The whole year is very pretty, but probably the best season could be from October through April, because it's already rained from the summer, so the views are more spectacular. There is not that hot, so it's warm, but
not too warm.
Not too warm, yeah.
No muy caliente.
No, exactly. And in summer, it could be very caliente.
So now is the best time to kind of look at doing that trip then.
Yes.
Now, can I do it this week? If I wanted to start, let's say I'm starting in Chihuahua and it's, there's 5 stops along the way. If I wanted to go to every other stop and do a couple days there, go to the end point and then go back, but go to the other stops that I missed. Can I do it that way, like a return round trip and visit the 5 stops that way?
Sure, you can do it that way. It's not that common because only are 5 points that are interest for getting down. So you can do it in 9 days, the whole trip to the ocean. I mean, to Los Mochis is where the train stops, and the most of the people take the plane from there. So they start in Chihuahua and they finish in Los Mochis.
Los Mochis.
But I like when I do the trip, I like to come back by train, or probably you can come back by car, by truck, in a van, so you can get to other places that the train doesn't get you.
So when I'm in Chihuahua, what's a food I gotta try? What's your favorite? If you're my tour guide, where would you take me for lunch?
I will tell you first to take burritos, because we are the original creators of the burritos, the real ones. And then in Chihuahua we eat a lot of meat. We are a cattle state, so we have very, very good meat in the state.
Nice.
So the grill is our specialty.
You had me at burritos, and I do love a good steak and all kinds of beef, and there you go.
And of course, margaritas.
And margaritas, of course, to have that too. Anything we missed? Anything that you want to add that I may have didn't touch on?
Probably tell you to the audience that likes more culture, like we have that Raramuri culture. It's our ethnics that lives in Chihuahua, all over the mountains. So it's a living culture. So you can have experience with them, experience like hiking, because they are the owners of La Sierra. They are called Raramuris or Tarahumaras, what means foot-lighted runners.
Well, it all sounds amazing. Again, it's something different, off the beaten path. You can check out all the images and more information about visiting Chihuahua at visitchihuahua.mx. Monica Obregon is the promotions coordinator for Chihuahua Tourism. Again, visitchihuahua.mx is the website. It was a real pleasure chatting with you, Monica. Muchas gracias.
Ay, gracias a ti, Randy. Thank you so much. And we wait for you in Chihuahua.
This is the Informed Traveler Podcast. I'm Randy Sharman. Just want to remind you of our website, theinformedtraveler.org. That's where you can find our contact page if you have any questions or comments about the podcast. You can also email me too with any questions you might have. My email address is randy@theinformedtraveler.org. And if you want to get up-to-date travel info through the week or just see a few amusing travel stories and links, you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/informedtraveler, on Instagram at Informed Traveler, or you can follow me on X at Informed Traveler. So now, as always, I'd like to end the show with our weekly roundup, and joining us to do that is Ken Stewart from Crowfoot Travel Solutions. Good day, sir.
Hello, Randy. Hello, everybody. So pretty much now, this month, we finished what the suppliers consider summer season for the sun destination, which is usually a quieter time for travel. So a reminder, if you didn't get away this past fall, winter, or even in the spring, we really should start looking at your getaway for the fall and winter of this 2025 season coming up. If you've not already locked something in, suppliers' resorts are all loaded for their products for those sun and beach destinations that we love. And remember, some of the better and more popular days like Christmas, New Year's, Family Day, which is across Canada now, President's Day out in the U.S., long weekend, are already really selling well. And some resorts are almost sold out or limited onto the number of rooms that they have. And especially if you're looking for the larger rooms, if you've got a family of 5 or more kind of thing, those ones sell out really, really quickly. So that's another reason why you don't hear us talking each week about a lot of offers, because since COVID, we really haven't had to do that, and they haven't had to really discount or put anything on sale per se, because just everything sells so well. So give us a call and we'll discuss your plans and see if we can get you all hooked up.
Well, we say it all the time. Don't wait. If you have an idea of where you want to go, get the wheels in motion earlier than rather than later.
Exactly. Sooner than later. Even just to have that conversation. Always have the conversation sooner than later. And then at least you'll have some facts and, you can make a good decision on when you think you wanted to lock in if you're going to go for sure.
Sounds good.
Every week we've been talking lately about long stays. This week we have our friends over at Five Continents, one of our preferred partners, offering a 23-night stay in Albufeira, Portugal. And we're going to set you up for a day at the beginning in Lisbon, then transfer you down to Albufeira, and you're going to have a 1-bedroom apartment, all your transfers. And again, then before you come back, we'll transfer you back to Lisbon for your last night before coming back. Right now, the date they've got is March 3rd of 2025, only $2,099 a person. And again, we can probably look at other dates if that one doesn't work for you, but I mean, that's a great price. So, and again, add in some extra nights in some other cities or pre or post, along with your airfare, and then make it maybe a full month or more away if you've got
Why
the time.
not? Like if you look at $2,100 a person with the cost of rents these days, no matter where you are, spending a couple of months in Portugal sounds pretty good.
CI Tours, again, one of our preferred partners. Lots of tours in Iceland, which is new for them. Ireland, Scotland, and England, big partners there. They've got everything from coach tours. You can do rail tours, small group tours. We can set up some independent travel. And if you're even really want to spoil yourself, they've got chauffeur-driven tours. So right now they've got 17 of their more popular tours where you can experience the landscapes, culture, and history of those countries while you save on airfare with the companion flies free.
Woo.
So there you go. You can buy a ticket and take me. Go for free. All for new bookings by the end of September. So again, that's a really, really great deal. Again, it's, that's like a half off airfare for each.
Yeah. Well, and we always say airfare is a big chunk of getting there. So yeah.
Exactly. Like to do a family getaway. Maybe you've never cruised before or whatever. So check out a 4 or 5 day cruise with Disney. Right now, offering 20% off your fares. And if you've got the time, you can put it together with a few days because they sail out of Florida. So we can hook you up and get a few days in Disney World. Tie everything all in there. Lots to see and do. And Disney is much more than the theme parks that we usually think of when we talk about them. As well as the cruise now, they also have fabulous land options to go around with those cruise. Something for the whole family and all ages. And right now, for a limited time on select 2024 and 2025 land adventures, there are river cruises, expedition cruises, and escapes to destinations around the world. You can save $150 US per person on select Amazon and Sydney, Australia escapes, $250 per person on Arizona and Utah departures and adventures, $350 per person on select international land adventure and river cruises, including England, France, Italy, and more, and save $500 on their select Galapagos expedition cruises. All departures, and again, we've got till December to book this one. So again, one of those
Nice.
ones that's, check it out, get a phone call, get some information, and see if it's going to work for you.
Yeah, lots of options there.
Virgin Cruises. Love these guys. They're adults only, so 18 plus on board. No single supplement for solo travelers. And they've got limited cabins on all their ships for each sailing. Luxury cruising, but meaning more value, not necessarily what you expect and what you might think of for cost. So everything is not pretentious on these ships. So getting dressed up may mean your best Hawaiian shirt and khakis from your closet, your designer jeans with just a collared shirt. They also have a couple of theme nights. If you want to participate, you can bring on board with you for your pajama party. A lot of times they'll have a scarlet night where everything's all red instead of the traditional white night. They've got over 20 restaurants with Michelin star chefs, 24/7 food availability, which is bad for me. No extra charges in any of the restaurants, so you go as much as you like, and there's no buffets at all. So right now they got 70% off the second passenger and up to $680 in onboard credits for no bookings. So
Very nice.
Leonie in our office has sailed on them, and she just said it's a fabulous time on board the ship. Really good.
Yeah, we've had people talk about rave reviews. Yeah.
Royal Caribbean Cruise Line booked this month. Second passenger is 60% off. The third and fourth in the same cabin are 30% off, unless, of course, you're taking the kids. Then they're free.
Woo-hoo.
So taxes only. So again, we're booking into early 2026, which sounds like a long time away when you say it, but really it's only 16 months, and those tick away pretty quick. Viking Ocean Cruises, mostly known for their river sailings, are also sailing with their ocean ships. Right now, South America, the Panama Canal, Hawaii, and the South Pacific all have specials on with free airfares, reduced cabin fares, and all for only a $25 deposit for select 2024 and 2025 sailing. So again,
very nice. Yeah.
Lots of savings on there, and $25 deposit. I think pretty much most of us should be able to come up with that.
That's a pizza, isn't it, nowadays?
Exactly. Give up that pizza this week and you can go on a cruise.
No pizza for this week, exactly.
Emerald River Cruises still has some space on 2024 Europe itineraries, including the famous Christmas markets, which is an exciting adventure in itself just to see and do. And letting the second guest is on this one's are going to sail free. Again, so much like our other one we had the other night, you can take me and I'm going to go for free, or we can split it.
Woo.
So treat the other half or split the cost with a good friend and sail away.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about who doesn't like free, my favorite four-letter word. So every week we get more people joining our free travel club, getting all these extra perks and offers that we have many times in addition to specials that we talk about here or that are going on in the marketplace, giving you that extra value so you can double dip, as they say. When you book through our office as the official Travel Savers affiliate here in Canada. And again, it's free to sign up. You can do it right from our website. Again, monthly specials each month, and then every quarter they have special ones for the quarter. So if you're going to book, use that free phone call. You never know what you might gain.
Exactly. And what is that free phone call number?
If you're in Calgary, it's 403-241-7140. And if you're outside Calgary, you call us toll free 1-877-511-5511. Then you too can relax. It's all taken care of.
Indeed, sir.
Have a great week, everyone.
And that is our show for this week. If you have comments or questions, we'd love to hear from you. If you have a show idea, send that along as well. My email is randy@theinformedtraveler.org. And if you like what you heard, tell a friend. You can check out our website too at theinformedtraveler.org. In the meantime, thanks for listening, travel safe, and be an informed traveler.